start, what about a round of applause for the new That was an absolute thriller. Skill, heart, engine. So pleased with Joe Cordina and also Tony Sims. These two have made a lot of sacrifices. Great team. And as far as I'm concerned, that cements Joe Cordina as the best 130-pound fighter in the world. And over to the floor for questions.
How's the hand job?
Yeah, it's fine. Just a bruised knuckle, that's all. Every time I hit him, he got a hard head. But every time I hit him, I can feel the bruise just swelling and swelling and swelling. But yeah, the injury that I had is fine.
You felt confident throughout the fight?
Yeah, listen, don't get me wrong, it was a tough fight, and I'm not going to sit here and say it was an easy fight or anything. It just showed you were all there watching, so it was definitely a tough fight. But there wasn't a time in there apart from it was 2 rounds. He hit me with a body shot, one of them, then it was one with a headshot. Other than them 2 rounds, I felt comfortable in it.
Amazing, mate. Congratulations.
Is it your hardest fight?
Oh yeah, for sure. I knew it was going to be my hardest fight. But I was prepared, like I've said previously in the ring. Tony grafted me through this campaign. Literally, it was grueling, and I had to ask myself a few questions. I answered them, and what I did in camp set me up nicely for tonight.
Were you surprised that it went to split decision, considering your reaction? You didn't look like a fighter who thought you'd won at the end of the fight.
Yeah, I was surprised. I didn't. The one who had his 116, 111.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what he was smoking, but yeah, I didn't know where he got that from.
I think he actually gave the last 5 rounds to Rakhimov.
Yeah,
Not what?
9 rounds.
Yeah, but the last 5 was, the 10th round was one of Joe's best rounds. Battered him.
yeah, that was a joke. And but yeah, I felt pushing him. When he was getting closer, and don't get me wrong, he was working to the body. A lot of it was going on the arms, on the gloves, and I was keeping my shots in close in. And I felt comfortable in it, and I could have gone another 3-4 rounds. I felt fit, felt comfortable, and I've said it previously. There's no gym in the UK that trains harder than us.
Did you feel like the crowd matched last June, because that was such a special night, and tonight was as
Yeah,
well?
they showed up tonight, and it was a special moment. I said to people before, whatever I do in my career will never match what I did last June. But that do come close. The crowd was amazing. I appreciate everyone for coming out and showing up. And yeah, we look to do it again in the future.
Boxing is a sport, you have to dedicate your life to it. Do you feel like you kind of got your life back because you're back where you were?
Yeah, I sacrificed a lot, as I've said before in interviews. I live away from home, I've got 3 young children that I miss dearly when I'm away. But everything I do in camp and in boxing is for them in the future. My wife stays at home, looks after my kids, and I see this camp I was away for 16 weeks. Not all in all, but I came back for around about 12, 14 days in that 16 weeks. So yeah, for me it is hard being away, and the sacrifices pay off, and as it showed tonight.
And hopefully it won't be another couple of years until we see you coming back to Cardiff now. Is Joe starting something interesting?
Yeah, we said the other night, didn't we? It really was your only chance to keep boxing alive in Wales at that level. And you saw tonight, the atmosphere was unbelievable. It's just 4,500 here, whatever it is, completely banged out. And now it's the next step.
It's 5,000 on one.
Yeah,
I know I get
you
a
get a
few
bonus.
quid.
Listen, if there was a bonus at
He's trying to
5,000,
fill
trust
now.
me, it's definitely 4,000. But I think it's like it's time to move on. And now we move on to the bigger leagues and bigger stadiums and bigger arenas and bigger fights. I think after the Agao victory and after that fight, you've never seen 2 victories where a fighter has dethroned a world champion consecutively in that kind of fashion, with a knockout and with a fight of the year contender. So, and Joe's kind of doing things now that probably early in his career, you may not have thought that he would have done, having a war over 12 rounds with one of the strongest fighters out there, or a one-punch knockout. So he's got everything in the game. He's a very talented fighter, and now we've really got to make it count. That's the key, is to make it count for him and his family, make those sacrifices all worthwhile. He's done that from a legacy point of view. Now we do it from a big fight point of view and a financial point of view as well, and time to enjoy the benefits of the hard work.
yourself a Barrett next, or a
I think in terms of a voluntary, that's a big fight. But obviously, Joe as well wants unifications, and I think he's the best super featherweight in the world. I really do. And I think now there's attainable unification fights out there. Before it was just all about Shakur Stevenson. And you may end up see Joe going up to one day. You've got other British featherweights, Josh Warrington, Lee Wood. I don't know, they might, Maurizio Lara, they might be moving to 130 eventually. Joe's got a nice plan for 4, 5, 6 fights, big fights, but he wants those belts. I'd love to see him try and have a crack at undisputed one day as well.
Jay, that's your aim,
Yeah.
undisputed.
I set goals, and in my career, from when I started, the first thing I did when I started boxing, I wanted to win a Welsh title and a British title, then Europeans, worlds, all that shit. And then Olympic Games was my ultimate goal as an amateur. Then once that was gone, it was, all I wanted to do as a pro was be a world champion. I wasn't interested in any other belt, no British, no Commonwealth, nothing. It was all about a world title. I've taken that off. Then when I won the world title last year, it was time to unify. That's what I wanted to do. They were my goals. Obviously, I was strict. So the first thing I needed to do to reach that goal is get my title back. I've done that tonight, and now I want to reach that goal.
Phil, obviously you got to show your power against the Gower. Was tonight the night you got to show? Often talk about your boxing IQ. Is tonight a good night to show that?
Yeah, no, tonight, I've said it all the time, I can fight going forward, I can fight going backwards, I can do everything. I'm not a finished article by any means, and I'm not perfect, but I can do everything, and I can do everything well. And I stood toe to toe with arguably a monster tonight, and I pushed him back. And I felt I was hurting a lot of times in that fight. So, yeah, don't get me wrong, it wasn't easy, it was hard, it was tough, but I showed that I can fight. I showed previously I can box. And I can fight going forward, I can fight going backwards. And if I have to dig in, I will.
Also showed tonight you can take a very, very big shot.
Oh, yeah,
Get you clean in the face.
I sparred with Conor Ben in the past. I don't spar now, he's a big boy, but and I've moved down the weight. So yeah, but I sparred with Conor Ben, and he hit me with some big shots. I take them and I move forward. So he's not gonna. Yeah, don't get me wrong. With little 8-ounce gloves, it do give you a little buzz, but like I said, we're the hardest working gym in the country, and I recover very fast because I'm fit. Tony puts us through graft and make sure we're in peak condition. So yeah, there was no way I was going down. There was no way I was packing it in. Yeah, I soldiered it up.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Joe, what would you get out?
I don't know. I'd have to watch it back. When you're in there, it's like I'm in there throwing shots, taking digs. I'm going back after every corner. How did I do this? How did I do? So yeah, it's hard to gauge. I'd have to watch it back to sort of rate it out of 10.
I had it in by 3 rounds. It was a tough fight. I think the knockdown was big. It was 10-8 rounds. Rakhimov was throwing a lot of shots, but a lot of them were hitting elbows and gloves, and the shots that Joe was throwing was catching them clean. And he was hurting them as well. But, it was an hard fight. We always knew it was going to be a hard fight. If you watch all of his fights, through the JoJo career, he was like class build operator. And we always knew that was going to be tough. But I had Joe winning by 3 rounds in that fight.
Eddie, which fight is easiest
I mean, I always like the WBC Championship. Shaquille Foster's a good fighter, getting on, but a good fighter. Other opportunities as well. Honestly, any of the champions, and I feel like there's no marquee champions other than Joe. I honestly think he's the biggest name in the division right now. And like I said, when he first won the title against Agawa, we were talking about the big undisputed fight with Shakur Stevenson, but the goal is still the same. He's not there anymore. But when you're talking about, as long as Cardiff and Wales continue to support him like that and can help us move to the next level, which is the stadium, you can bring over those champions and no problem. The DAZN will be ready to invest in those unification fights. They've already been on the phone tonight. They're in Vegas, just saying, "Wow, what a fight!" And that's such a brilliant way for the boxing fans to move into Tank against Ryan Garcia tonight. is to see a brilliant, world-class fight like that, and the audience would be huge tonight. So it's any of those guys. I do like the Shaquille Foster fight, like any champion, and as long as, like I said, as long as Cardiff, don't rule out a trip to America. I think Joe would one day, I think, fight in New York or Vegas, and I think he'd take 4,000 or 5,000 or more over them himself. So that's one for the bucket list as well. But I'd love to bring the champions here if we can. Yeah.
When we go to see that.
But I think if we're going to go outdoors, we need to do it certainly by the end of September at the latest. So everything depends on the hand. I'd like to see him make up for lost time. It's a long camp, very long camp, tough camp. But really, if we want to make it count, see, the problem is we can't bring unification fights to this arena. You're not generating money to bring the champions in. So we must go to the stadium. So to do that, we need to do it at the latest in September. I think September's is a real possibility. Obviously, you've got the football season as well. It's different at Cardiff City versus the Millennium Stadium, which is a monster that can be curtained off in places and stuff like that. But he's in a great position.
There's a few stadiums. You got the Arms Park also, which is next to the Millennium, which is a good venue with City Stadium and football seasons on. But yeah, there's a few big arenas and stadiums.
This is a great arena, by the way. Right, we've outgrown it now, so it's time to find somewhere else in Wales.
Joe, on the theme of bucket list items, talk me through that entrance. Was it everything we wanted it to be?
Yeah, it was mad. Yeah, it was special moment for Welsh sports. Obviously, David's always there for the football, and to see him perform at a boxing event was amazing, and more better to do it than my world title fight. So yeah, it was great. Good having him.
I don't know how much of the rest of the show you were able to absorb tonight, but you're a real flag bearer for Welsh boxing, and you've made a point of wanting to bring others with you, and open a door for them. What's your message to the other fighters behind you now?
Yeah, listen. I've always said this. Some people stay in a comfort zone. I knew for me to step up to that next level, out of my comfort zone, and for me to move to that next level, it was Tony Sims. The first gym I went to, trained outside of Wales, was Tony. My dad said to me, "This is the man you need to be with." And advice-wise, I take a lot of my dad. And for me, working with Tony, we gelled straight away. He didn't let me punch a bag or a pad for like 3-4 sessions. So, and he said to me a couple of weeks back, "You see every mistake when you're shadow boxing," and that's what my dad seen when I first went there. He was like, "This is the guy you need to be with," and he took me from being a back foot counter with my chin in the air all the time to a world champion, a 2-time world champion. So a lot of credit goes to Tony Sims. He's up 6 in the morning in the gym with his one-to-ones. Then we come at 7. He's there from 7 o'clock. Sometimes not be till like 5-6 o'clock in the evening. So a lot of the credit goes to this man next to me.
I'm sure you weren't looking past tonight, but what do you do in rest and recovery now?
Go back up a shot, and then I've got another night in Markham. So I'd like to see everyone there. I was looking to go to Dubai on Wednesday. I'm going to play golf on Monday, golf on Tuesday, fly to Dubai on Wednesday when no one's there to have my kids. So I'm going to play golf Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, have Saturday off, play Sunday, and then I'm going to watch John Ryder in Mexico against Canelo next the week after.
Tony, just a question for you. What does it feel like to see your fighter win the belt back? It was taken away from him suddenly, kind of abruptly, and for him to go back and win it in such a devastating fashion. What does that mean to you? Like you said, a lot of the credit goes to you. You're the one that's there at 6 a.m. in the morning and the last one to leave. What does it mean to you?
It means the world to me, but I know how much sacrifice Joe's made, like leaving his home and coming down to Essex for months at a time. He's a really hard worker and he's easy to work with, and I know how much it means to Joe and his family. It means everything. Like Eddie said before, winning world titles changes your life. Joe's managed to win 2 world titles after 2 world champions, and tonight was an hard fight and dug in deep. We got through it. He's a 2-time world champion.
We talk about it being a hard fight. There's moments in there where I thought you know, is really getting into a trade-off here, toe-to-toe. There was no room for like stepping back, maybe leading off the jab. How does it feel to watch your fighter going in toe-to-toe and be that confident that he can go into those deep waters and come out victorious? Because literally it was sitting on the edge of the seat thinking this could go either way at points.
I think we knew through camp that it would have to be that type of fight because Rakhimov doesn't give you any room. You know, he doesn't know he chucks and throws the jab and moves in his feet behind it. He just pours in, head down, pours you into the ropes. So he don't give you a lot of room. So Joe's a good inside fighter as well as distant fighter, and he's learned over the years to fight inside. And he offered his counter punch, he was on point. And like people don't know that Joe's really game, like he said. I've had him in a lot heavier fighters and in world level fighters, and I've seen him get hit, so I know what he's got in his locker. And you know, when he had to produce that tonight, he had to produce that sort of performance to win tonight, and he did.
Joel, those angles that you found were absolutely beautiful. The way that you picked it up, moved out the way, circled him, made him look silly at times. What kind of message is that sending out to other fighters in your weight division that you will be challenging in the future?
I don't know, styles make fights, so for me it's like, that works for him, it don't necessarily work for the other fighters. So yeah, they might send a message, they might take it as that, but they might say, oh yeah, that would work for me. So yeah, we worked on that though for Rakhimov because he comes forward, he's over his front foot, his hands are on his head. We just cut around him, but at times there was times where he was starting to get onto it. But yeah, even when I was moving off to the side and just creating that little gap, and like Tony said there, we knew sometimes that we're gonna have to stand there and take a couple and let him go counter off what he throws. But yeah, as we've seen in the Alpha Bar fight, if you're constantly moving, he's just gonna close the gap. Wait for him to stop punching. When you want to rest, he's going to fight. But you're going to lose your energy, your breath, your stamina, and you're going to drain. And you're going to drain the tank. So for me, sometimes it's better to just catch, counter, and then slowly move away instead of rushing around. So yeah, we knew it was going to be that sort of fight at times, and sometimes. But I say that I love the little here. I actually do enjoy it, and I enjoy it tonight.
Thank you, it was an epic performance and we were definitely entertained.
All right, guys. Well done, Joe Cordina.